10 tips and tricks that can help you purchase a luxurious home in a foreign country. Number 1. Decide on your budget. Before you begin your research, you need to determine your budget. If you do that, you will have a better idea of what your options are when it comes to searching for a home. You will be able to determine which areas you can afford and which ones you cannot, as well as what types of homes you should look for. Number 2. Choose the country that suits you best. There are some countries that have extremely strict rules regarding foreigners buying property. The rules can limit your ability to buy the home of your dreams, and you may find yourself unable to do so. Many factors make it difficult for foreigners to buy homes in Mexico, for example. A huge part of Mexico land is government owned, so they have strict payment rules. However, there are some countries that facilitate purchases. Singapore is one such example. Many people would love to live in Singapore, one of the most beautiful places in the world. It's not complicated at all to purchase property in Singapore, even for real estate specialists. There are a lot of amazing houses there with beautiful scenery and tourist spots to match. Obviously, they have a cost as well. No matter what your budget is, you'll surely find your dream house abroad. There are some affordable houses in Caribbean, for example, if you don't want to live in a metropolis like Singapore. Number 3. Make a list of priorities. Make a list of what's most important to you in a house before you start looking for properties to buy. Write down the main reasons you need a home abroad. Identify the things that are absolutely necessary for this property, then proceed from there. Whether you want a small apartment with a gorgeous view or a large place with a studio or workplace. Consider your preferred neighborhood and your most important commodities. With this list, you will be able to narrow down your search, easily determine what you can skip and what is a deal breaker. Before we move to number 4, number 9 is surely the most important. Number 4. Use reliable websites. Many websites offer listings for you to check, but can you trust them all? While there aren't many websites that are worth using, there are still plenty of others there are. Make sure you check out which sites you can trust and which ones you should avoid before you begin your research. Checking customer reviews and consulting your attorney can help you determine this. Make sure the listings are legitimate and real by looking for signs of legitimacy. Number 5. Compare property prices. The cost of a house can vary from many reasons, and it can be unclear why one house is more expensive than another. You can take the right decision by checking out the prices of units and buildings around the same area and the neighborhood areas. Number 6. Take your time. When it comes to buying residential unit, rushing is one of the biggest mistakes people make. You will get the best deal if you take the time to check out homes and weigh your options. Also, you will avoid paying so much more than the property is worth when you could have paid the same price for a much better home or something similar at much lower price. Number 7. Ask as many questions as needed. Feel free to ask any and all questions you may have. Find out everything you need to know from the neighbors, realtors, lawyers, and anyone else you think may be able to help. Make sure you understand everything about the place before making a decision. Number 8. Make sure the paperwork is perfectly legal. In the real estate market, this is one of the trickiest aspects. It's especially important when you're buying in a foreign country. Taking care of legal permissions and paperwork can be confusing, but you have to make sure that everything is in order and your contract is clear to avoid getting into trouble or losing your new apartment. It's especially important to hire an attorney who knows the country's law well. Number 9. Get all necessary papers in your language. It is very important that you understand everything on the contract and the permissions you are giving. If you want something translated orally, do not settle for it. Ensure the hard copies are in your language or language you are familiar with. And finally, number 10. Check out building services. Ensure that all essential services are available and functioning properly before finalizing your purchase. Make sure the building has gas and water. Check every electrical outlet and light source. And it might seem very unnecessary, but making sure that a good phone and internet connection is also really important. Ensure that you know who to call when you need repairs and that you won't have to pay a fortune to fix hidden problems.